Hello everybody. As you can see, things have been happening in the shed and there have been multiple vehicles running. But you might have noticed the notable absence of two things that should be working. But we'll get to those later. Moving on to the stuff that actually has fired up. Well, we have done a very big reorganise of the shed, as you might be able to guess from what you can see around me. Which means we had to move a lot of vehicles. But it is the greatest number of vehicles, I think, that I have ever had outside altogether or working. Now, out of the vehicles that work, the one that you might notice to be a bit strange is the Massey 35, which suddenly has wheels again. I have found a T20 that is being overhauled, of which it turns out I could borrow the wheels, and they just happen to fit. So until the T20 gets fixed, I'm allowed to borrow its wheels, which hopefully will give me enough time to return my own wheels to get them back on it, and then I can give the wheels back. But for the time being, it lives and it works, and I am very happy to be able to drive my tractor about again, because it has been far, far too long. So moving on to the rest of our fleet, Peugeot 106, now in the shed. Has anything happened? No. Kind of been involved in other things, so haven't touched that. The NX, well, we decided to change the gearbox oil and see how much metal there was inside. Will that go straight? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see how bad this is. Now, I'm half expecting no oil to come out. I'm concerned by the lack of oil. Oh God. Oh. That came up more than I thought it would.
And that's black.
Yep. There's other things. Oh, that smells vile. I wonder how many leaks. Oh my God, my arm. Oh.
That do smell horrible.
Oh, that's. It's vile. And
It smells like burnt 80-90 oil.
right, Leroy. It's gone the wrong colour as well. Oh my God, look at the. That's my gears. That's not the. That's multicolour. That's not the right colour for this.
No.
Well, I think I understand why the gearbox died. The plug, after spending most of the morning cleaning it up, now looks like a plug with less bits of metal randomly attached to it. There's a couple of bits there, but.
That's all the fifth synchro on that.
Oh yeah, it was the synchro, wasn't it?
Yeah. All the fifth synchro was on that nut.
Yes.
I think when you put that back in, go for a run, come back, drain it again, that'll be full again.
He's probably right. This is, without doubt, the slowest thing I've ever done. Sitting here, watching an air bubble slowly make its way down to head into the gearbox. So we're under here because my NX has developed rather an exhaust flow and sounds terrible. And yesterday when I came up the shed, the back box was at an angle, so I pushed it back in, and somewhere I think there's going to be a hole around here, or in the box itself.
It's here.
Ah. Right, so that just goes, probably. I'll fix that, sorted.
Yep.
Top tip done. Right, we'll get Martin to come and just put a bit of weld around that, and
Job's done.
that's job's good. Have you ever welded up an exhaust before, Martin?
Nope.
So you know that it needs to be a sealed fit to make it.
Yes.
Do you reckon
Yeah.
you can?
Yes. Probably.
That doesn't fill me with confidence.
I don't like filling you with confidence. It makes you overconfident. I like to leave you slightly worried.
I am quite worried at this moment.
It's always more fun.
Yep, that's actually pretty good. It's not blowing from that at all. But why? Why is that? Why is there liquid coming out of that?
There shouldn't be any of that.
Oh, it's water, isn't it? It's water from exhaust. Mike, can you weld that up as well?
Yeah, sure. Somebody's clearly welded that up before, but that's...
Well, someone's welded the what's war and they welded up the catalytic converter. That's had a patch put in it.
That's just tacked on all 4 corners.
Yeah,
nice little
fixing
bit.
that would be lovely, thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add that to the list.
Nice. It's made no difference. So I looked on eBay that very evening and I've now got a gearbox ready to go in. So whether or not the eBay gearbox will be any good, I don't know. But over the next couple of months, we'll look at swapping the gearbox out and bring the NX back to full health, which will be great because I really do love it. The Morris. Well, me and Matt have been driving that about a bit and it started making rather worrying crunchy noises, and Matt is sure that the crack in this wing there is getting worse. So for the time being, we're not driving that, but one of you lovely people has been in contact about doing the work to it to actually sort it out. And so I can drive it around and really enjoy it because I love it. Every time I sit in it, I just get this massive grin on my face. And every time I shuttle it around in and out of the shed, it's just wonderful. We've done a bit of work to the carburetor. We filled up the pot for the float with some oil, and that has made a monumental difference to the way the car runs. You can give it a bit of throttle now, but it still dies if you give it too much throttle, so the car needs work. Matt thinks it's overfueling, and I tend to agree with him. So we'll get that done, and I can drive that around. But most of the stuff works on there. I am very happy with the condition of this car and how little work it needs. The MR2 and the Turbo MR2 both certainly enjoyed their run outside. The Turbo MR2 sounded gorgeous. That sounds like it has no issues and has really fired up my enthusiasm to get that project finished because it sounds silky smooth, and just driving it about again, I was like, this is amazing. Very much how Matt was when he got his 2 back on the road, sitting in it and just having a little drive around at the shed. I was like, this is such a cool car. My other MR2 sounded less happy to be woken up. Because of the exhaust leak on it, it really does not sound very happy. The engine we've always been a little suspect about, but being left and sat for a while, it's really unhappy now. And the car needs a load of fiddling with, so that's kind of slipped down the list of things we need to work on a bit. But it will get done, and it was, again, lovely to have it outside and just drive it around for a bit, because frankly, I think we should fire stuff up a bit more in here and just keep everything happy. Humpty, well, that has fired up, and that has actually been quite useful, but we'll come to that in a minute. But Humpty, as ever, still trundling on, still sludgy coloured gearbox, but still does what it's meant to do. So the notable exemptions from the cars and vehicles that went outside. Viking, well, most of you will be aware that was working, and the case is the engine does still work.
Might be able to get it out with along those wires.
Stuck!
How bad is it?
Bad!
If not, I've got another Lucas ignition on the van.
Oh, that's good, but...
Don't worry, I know a trick to get that out.
Do you?
Yes. I've also got a tool set to get that out at home, unfortunately, but I'll bring it next week if we can't get it out now. But we might be able to get that out with something like a Stanley knife.
Okay. You got it? Is that going to come? No.
Hang on.
I thought for a glorious moment you were like a champion and you could do these things. Nope.
It's coming.
Is it?
It came out a little bit.
Oh, is that? Oh, I thought for a second it was coming out. There has never been such silence and anticipation in the shed. No way!
Got it.
High five! You're a champion! Where'd it go?
How have we got another Lucas key?
Yes.
Have you got a spare key?
Yes. Because that.
Actually, I think a screwdriver will just do, won't it?
Yeah, nails and screwdrivers start
just
Lucas
do that.
ignitions.
Yep. It will. New key. Well, it's like lots of things. In most plant, you can start on a screwdriver. I've driven
We need
plants.
to put this on video, like the old key compared to the new key.
New key? Where is it? Yep. That's not changed at all. So this one I found in the shed. I don't know what it's meant to be for.
Well, it'll probably start. Just go put it in.
It doesn't start the international. Right, let's try not to break this one off in the lock as well.
And we've made a lot of progress with it. We started off by playing around with the back actor and freeing off the sliding mechanism to be able to move the thing back and front to get it to park up a bit better.
Right, slowly.
Ash, is that not coming undone by any chance?
No.
Poor digger.
That'll be alright. Yeah. Hopefully it'll now come undone. It's a bit.
Yeah. Ash, it doesn't seem to want to come undone.
Does it? I might end up being liquid, this one.
Oh god. Oh, you got it. Insane temperature helps. That appears still to be quite tight.
Yeah, it's still a bit tight.
Kind of half expecting the whole back end to fall off now.
I think before we put this one back on, we'll put some grease on this.
Yeah, that sounds like a good shout.
Ash, make sure the pipes aren't getting squeezed. Yeah. That's it. We're really close now. Like another 15 centimeters. We're 10 centimeters now.
Put some more spray grease on it. There is a lot of slack in it.
Yeah. We haven't been closer. Come on.
One of the logs is just fallen off.
Yeah, that's alright. We'll try and move it while I'm hitting it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're nearly there. Keep going. We're there. Stop.
That's a heavy hammer to hold on your side.
I think this was partly our problem. Look at all this.
I hadn't moved for years, so you can see where it's worn a groove into where it's sat.
Let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff that this hasn't had for a time.
Yeah. Grease being one of them.
I mean, now at least, A, we don't need to have the strap on it anymore. because it's going to constantly push itself tight up to the back of the thing. So we only need to put that plate on it now, which is now on the wrong side, I see. It's that side. Wow, that's horrible. Is that what it was trying to force itself through?
Yeah.
Okay, no wonder it had issues. Nice. And no damage to the floor.
Having done that, we carried on looking at various things that need to be done with it.
Lawrie.
Oh god. What?
Oh! Might want some new bolts.
What happened to that?
That's rusted.
Wow.
Half of it away.
Whoa. That's not meant to be like that.
No.
Okay. Wow, that is a lot of nasty stuff right there. Wow, that's bad, Morgan.
Yeah, and guess who's doing?
Are you happy?
No, are you?
Have you made the right life choices?
No, I definitely haven't, have I?
Them seals are havoc.
Can you push that all by yourself?
Yeah.
So not only will it swing round on its, but why does it swing round on its own? Because it shouldn't, because there's no pressure behind it.
But the seals are knackered in it.
Yeah, but there's nothing to make it swing.
Yeah, you've got all the oil what's in here.
Oh, okay.
It's just bypassing the seals.
My favourite thing is this, that you can just go.
Oh yeah. That's all in that top pin.
I can see it rocking. Oh.
And there's not a lot of pressure in that ram.
Is that possibly still air in that?
I think on the ram seals.
That one's not leaking though.
Could be internally.
And it's going uphill so we don't see them coming
Yeah.
out. Oh god. Are you having fun down there, Morgan? You made quite a mess. Are you suggesting that them bushing down there are well and truly whatevered?
Yes, they are. Very worn out.
I see.
That pipe is.
Another. Oh no, that's fine. That's meant to be like that. That's story lines.
Yeah, that'll blow.
Okay, so that's another one to go on. That's that one.
Yeah.
So that's for the actors. So we talked about those two on there are knackered as well.
Yeah, these two
So
little ones.
that ram doesn't leak, but everything to do with it leaks.
No, these two little pipes do this ram, which leaks.
Oh, they do that. Oh, so
Yeah.
everything leaks. That's what we've learned.
Apart from these two, and this ram.
And found out a bit more about things it should have.
This book says this is meant to have a heater.
It'd be really good with the door that doesn't door.
Yeah.
Lack of door.
Lack of door, lack of window.
Well, I mean, originally it had those, but what I'm more concerned about is lack of ceiling cab. You know, the fact that it doesn't shut there.
Yeah, it's meant to have a trim around there,
Is it?
which clips onto these. That's what these are for. But a little cover to go around all that lot.
Oh, we don't have that.
We don't have that. I think that might be very hard to find.
How do you fancy fabricating something?
What is that?
I don't even know what the dial is you're looking at.
I don't know either.
I don't. Whatever that control panel is, we don't have it.
have it.
I mean, I've got that.
Figure 11.
But the good news is we can work out what I'm meant to have. Like, what's that? Is that oil pressure that I'm meant to have over in that cluster there? that I
Yeah.
don't have?
Oil pressure, fuel, electric, or amps.
Well, we don't have number 4.
Rev.
What's number 4?
Number 4.
It doesn't say.
No.
Well, on the next
Good
page.
book.
Yeah.
Meant to be direction indicators. Yeah, righto.
Well, that's figure 9. So that's figure 11 will be the one next over,
Figure 11 is meant to be that panel.
which is meant to be directions.
Which is meant to be there.
So. Oh, so we're missing. Oh, well, that's just the loom for it.
Yeah.
So we need. If anybody
one.
knows where I can get one of these boxes for indicators,
There's directional indicator.
Yep.
Warning. Rear cab work lights. Rear cab warning light.
what's figure 10 meant to be? Doesn't say. Figure 10
10.
combined temperature control.
Heater control.
We don't have that.
We don't have that.
We don't have heater control.
No.
Now, the reason it's not outside is, whilst it still runs, Ash has taken it upon himself to remove the steering and one of the wheels.
Oh, that's fine. It's meant to have flex in it.
No.
The flex in it's meant to be so that... Is that actually attached?
It is just about attached.
There's meant to be... there's flexibility in that so that when it goes over bumps, it doesn't break the steering.
It's better than the other side anyway. Which is welded on, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least this side's bolted.
Are you saying that there's a small problem with that?
Yes, and the ram's leaking as well. It fell off.
That looks...
That's...
Is that meant to be a cover for that?
Yes.
So currently I've got no... Oh, wow.
That's
meant to move nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a scrap. We'll do that with it. That's gone.
Point. Oh!
Oh damn!
There's a lot of play in that.
At least that tyre was flat.
How does that help?
I mean, it was already pretty bad. Trying to look for a silver lining for you, man.
I think we've got to replace every single track joint on this.
Jeez, the state... Oh, wow.
That's knackered and it's been welded on.
There's a hole there that I don't think it's supposed to be there.
Here you go, man.
What?
More welding for you. Breeze block. Digger's going to sit on the breeze block for a little while. Just don't look at the jack, it's not really on.
Now, you can't see me because I'm filming, but currently, we're speechless. Why is the wheel off, Ash?
To get that off.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all welded.
Nice. Are you sure it's not just painted?
No. Oh, and I got to cut the other end off as well.
Really?
Yep.
So you're going to rest the digger on the... Are breeze blocks notoriously known for being good stands for diggers?
Yeah, I quite often use breeze blocks.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm not wishing to throw any problems at, but that is how we get the moggy up on the ramp. It's not anymore, is it?
Not in a minute now.
Okay, okay.
They are well and truly knackered, and this does rather give us some problems in the fact that if I was to fire it up, as the hydraulic system, the power steering system, is no longer connected to anything, it will just go and make a mess of the shed, and that would be bad. So Viking is still a running vehicle, we just can't use it until Ash starts putting stuff back together again, which hopefully will be next month, and the steering will be not quite so leaky. Jupiter. Well, as you saw, I was very happy to have my fire engine working again, and everything was rather glorious. It's in its new place, it was running, I was overjoyed. And I'd like to stress at this moment in time that it's not broken, rather immobilised. Now, you might recall me mentioning about this fuel leak. So I did a bit of kind of investigating where it was coming from, and I thought maybe it was coming from the fuel filter. So I got out my trusty ratchet and I gave it a couple of turns to tighten it up. And I broke it. I managed to put a crack into the bottom of the housing, which made it leak a lot more, rather a lot more. So that was bad, and that meant that I needed to try and find a replacement, which on a vehicle that was built in 1981, this was going to end up being a challenge. But by chance, I decided to call in to the scrapyard.
So I need to get a new one of these. So where do we go? Of course, I'm back to my favourite scrapyard. So somewhere in this sea of engines is a Perkins 540. No. Nope. I think somewhere that's it. Recognise that anyway. So that's got Oh, 2 filters on, whereas mine's only got 1. So, things I'm going to pinch off this today are that, which is the air compressor to go and replace the one on red roof. And if I'm really lucky, then round, yes, we got a fuel filter, which is what I've knackered on the back of Jupiter. So I'm going to get some tools. I'm going to pinch some various bits. Oh, good.
With this, I got myself a new housing. So that was great, and that went on to Jupiter, and at the same time, I've now got a new compressor to go onto red roof. So some progress has actually happened with that truck. Ash decided he'd come and give me a hand to try and work out where the thing was actually leaking from, because put the new housing on, still leaking.
Me and Ash are slowly coming to the conclusion that this is the single most difficult thing to work on in the history of mankind.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so down there, I'm not sure you can see it, but just there, you get a glimpse of it there, there's a nut on a fuel return line. And we think it's this line that's leaking. But as you can see from the fact that Ash is trying to do a Houdini with his hand, it's rather... Oh wow, you're actually undoing that. Well done, you. How have you got your hand in there?
I don't know.
Will your hand ever come out of there?
Probably not. Can we cut the fire engine away so I can get my hand out?
I was thinking cutting the hand off to...
Oh, really? That's just died.
Huh. Right. What? You had to take the whole epoxy thing off?
Yeah.
Do we reckon that is knackered? And I, at this moment, really hope that is knackered. Because it's going to have been a massive pain in the backside if it's not. Are you being able to blow through that, or not?
I think it is gone there.
Oh, that's, to be honest, if it has, that's over the moon. Should we take it and get a bit of light? Oh, it definitely looks worn.
Yeah, I'd say it is leaking there.
After much investigation, we found it's the fuel return pipe. We managed to get it off and have a look at it, and yes, indeed, there is quite the hole in it. And we've now got all the stuff in the shed ready to put that on. So next month, that will go back on and Jupiter will return and be a working vehicle and not leak. And it has had this leak for basically the entire time I've owned it. So we legitimately will be getting better with stuff and moving on and making things better. That'll be good, and that's one of the big problems solved with Jupiter. So, I mean, oh no, I was going to say it will fire up, but it won't because there's no fuel line on it at the moment because we had to take that off as well. Great. And the Ruston 48. Well, we found out what's wrong with that. We think it's a spring inside the starter motor. So when you fire it up, it launches the little gear out to engage with the ring gear. It's not pulling that back in anymore, so the starter doesn't reset, so the starter then won't fire. So that means it's got to come off and be rebuilt again. So that's the locomotive going to sit there for hopefully only a month. Hopefully by the time you watch this, the guy who I know who can rebuild a starter will have been there, taken it off, and hopefully will have rebuilt it and fitted it by the time next what broken now happens. So watch this space. Hopefully that will be fine. And that kind of concludes our work in vehicles. Projects-wise, as I mentioned, there's been a big move around in the shed. The Supra, we decided we'd pull that out and try and get that to fire up under its own power.
How's it going, Ash?
Yeah, I think we're about ready to try it.
You reckon?
Yeah, I can't see no leaks under it. And the pump's working.
This car has not run since it came out of the carcoon. The fuel pump works. I don't believe it, but... Let the fuel pump run a bit more. Let's try again. It now thinks it is on empty, but not red light on empty.
Well, that's better.
I don't think it's going to go.
We failed. The the replacement fuel pump clearly is not giving enough fuel flow. The idea wasn't to have this as a long-term fix, just enough to move the thing about under its own power. We really wanted to get it onto the ramp before it got moved to the back of the shed, just to have a look at the condition of it. But for now, it will sit there and we'll forget about it for a bit longer. Because the big reason for this big fire up and this big move around of everything, it wasn't just to prove that we can, although a good enough reason. You see, we had a really, really good idea, and it started off by having to go to Martin's.
Oh, thank God.
I have a lovely shot of your backside.
This is because you're getting out of work, isn't it?
Yep.
Inside.
I may have borrowed the van from work again. And now we have a new floor inside the van. Which is a good job, Martin, eh?
But you've got to get out the other end.
You're not coming with us?
No. I have no car.
You can come with me.
You need to come back again.
Yeah, I'm coming back again.
Within the next few hours.
That's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And then I had to borrow something else from work. And with it, we started to level this area here. So what was all that effort for? Well, we now have a tent. Given to us by our good friend and longtime fan of the channel, Ant. So thank you very much for this, because he saw that we had a problem, and our problem was not enough space. So it's what's inside the tent that's really quite interesting. So, more storage for some of the more industrial and agricultural vehicles. You see, the tent, this now holds the outside vehicles. So, the tractors, and a part of that, Humpty. I think we've actually, for the first time ever in LMM history, actually achieved something. Because this is quite a wonderful space. It's quite airy, and it's given a bit more space. For that is the reason for the big move around, was to be able to free up these things and bring them into here, which will make Matt and Morgan very happy indeed. So yeah, lovely, lovely space. Fairly good construction. Humpty, Jeb, and of course Fergie with the borrowed wheels. Meaning I now have two functioning vehicles parked outside the shed inside the tent. And it's also somewhere where we can get on and work on space. There's enough space here, and just under Matt's feet are all the bits for this one and that one. And so as time goes on, I can come out here and finally do some painting. So we now have the tent, which means the tractors live outside, which has opened up a bit more space in here, allowing us to do a big reshuffle. And it did mean that Jeb was dragged outside and saw light for the first time in possibly getting on towards a year now. And Humpty was quite useful being a tow vehicle. While we are at it though, and we had the digger, there were a couple of jobs our landlord wanted. So Humpty got to be used as a dump truck, which had made me so happy. absolutely loved actually using Humpty as a dump truck, moving stuff around. It was so enjoyable. I loved every single moment of that. It was quite simply absolutely wonderful. And of course, that was basically an entire weekend, sorting out the tent, moving the vehicles around and doing the work over there. But it is worth it. There is so much more space in the shed now, and being able to work on things, move things around, and just, it's a lot more airy and light, and just, we're feeling really happy. The big upgrade of the shed is almost at an end. This is all a plan which started last summer, was this kind of idea, if we could make a lot of these things happen, and it's all suddenly come together with, like I mentioned, our friend Ant saying, would you like this tent? You could do with a bit more space. And of course, a massive thank you to our landlord for agreeing for our little expansion. You're awesome. Thank you very much. The whole team thinks you're awesome, and we couldn't do this without your help, so thank you. And everyone on YouTube, say thanks to the landlord, he's a legend. With the exception of Jupiter and Viking and of course Red Ruth, the only other vehicle not to move during this huge manoeuvre was the Lotus, because it has no wheels and is up on bricks. And we have done absolutely nothing with that, as per usual. So moving on to the rest of the team, have the rest of the team actually done anything with their own vehicles this month? Basically no, it's only Matt.
So, as you may have noticed, the Starlett was riding a little bit low. And when I say a little bit low, I mean it was scraping all the time. So, for £80, I've managed to purchase a set of Vogtland lowering springs from Demon Twigs. And this is the old spring, which just come off this corner. And as you can see, it looks shorter. And when you line them up next to each other, they're the same height. However, this has a few more coils over the same distance, so I'm hoping it'll be stiff enough to lift the Starlett up a bit and make it not scrape quite so much, because down there, there's you can see where the metal's exposed from the rubbing.
Where? Oh, there. Where it's shiny. Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh dear, oh dear. And how sketchy is what you're doing right now?
Not sketchy at all anymore, because I've basically just finished.
Oh cool, so I missed all the dodgy bit, did I?
Yeah, you missed the dodgy bit.
Sweet!
So, new springs are on. Fender liners cable tied back in place again. That's a lot better. That is significantly better than
Is
before.
there actually a gap there now?
Yes.
Look at that.
I will tell you how much better it is. I need to actually lower the jacks more, so it might. Yeah. Yes. That's fixed somewhat. It might still rub.
It's better than it was though, isn't it? So I mean, if we wander around to the t'other side, where it's going to be, where it is where the wheel is kind of, you can't see the top of it.
It may not bottom out anymore.
Well, you can't even get your hand in prior.
Yeah.
It's a struggle to get your hand in there.
That is notably better, Matt. Notably better.
Fixed.
Yeah, only 3 more to do.
Yeah.
You can do 3 more, right?
Yeah.
So guys, that's it for what we've done this month. It has been quite an eventful month. We've made some progress with vehicles, solved some problems, got to the bottom of a very long issue on that. The digger's coming forward, and the shed is finally almost done, and it's fantastic. This space now has always been really good, but this space now is becoming absolutely fantastic. In the next month or 2, hopefully we'll do the final finishing touches, and it's going to be absolutely perfect. Well, not perfect, but near as damn it. So as ever, thank you guys for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this update of everything going on in the shed. Please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, help us grow, and leave a comment. Let us know what you like seeing, if you've got any advice, hints, criticisms, you know, the normal stuff. And we'll see you next time. Remember guys, we do lots of other things. We've got the Discord, you can get in contact with us. We've got Instagram and Facebook, and we do streamy things on Twitch on Mondays. So join in. As always, you can get in contact with us and we can chat to you guys. So thanks very much for watching guys. And if you've enjoyed this one, how about clicking somewhere over there for the last What's Broken Now? Or if you want a bit more on the Moggy, how about the introduction to our scrappage cars? Thanks for watching guys. We'll see you later. This space is so much better now. It's unreal.
But it wasn't cold.
Wait, so yeah, we need to put a heater in here. It's always cold. It's always cold.